Welcome to the Flag Bearer channel. This is little known Black history facts. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. One of the great Black magicians, Benjamin Black Herman Rucker, master of illusions. Benjamin Rucker was an American stage magician, better known by his stage name Black Herman. He was the most prominent African American magician of his time. Black Herman found his place as the self-proclaimed world's greatest magician in Harlem, the African American mecca during the Jazz Age. It was here, at the cosmopolitan center of a dazzling culture industry where all roads to fortune and fame converged, that Herman mass-marketed the act for which he became best known, a combination of stagecraft, comedy, vaudeville theater, religious oratory, and mind-reading acts. His crowning achievement was a headlining show at Marcus Garvey's 4,000-seat Liberty Hall in 1923. Herman sold out the hall for a month at a venue that had previously housed rallies of Harlem's favorite Black supporters and Pan-African radicals. His shows were hugely appealing to an emerging urban audience, a highly mixed demographic that included Blacks, whites, society members, and other elites, and men and women of the working class. As a young boy growing up in his hometown of Amherst, Virginia, he met and became the apprentice to a magician and tonic salesman named Prince Herman. Rucker learned the art of stage illusions from Prince Herman, who was his first teacher and later his partner. Together they sold patent medicines as well as performed tricks using sleight of hand. Their act was as much medicine show as a stage show. The two ran a medicine show, performing magic tricks to attract customers for their secret African remedy, a tonic that was mostly alcohol with some common spices added for good measure. When Prince Herman died in 1909, Rucker, then only 17 years old, took the name Black Herman to honor his friend's memory. He continued to tour, focusing on the stage act and dropping the medicine show from his performance. One part of the original show that he preserved was the tie to his roots. Intertwined in his traditional magic act were hallmarks of the Black experience, African religion, and voodoo practice. Audiences flocked to be mesmerized by the show that only a magician of Black Herman's caliber and race could put on. His fantastic escapes from impossible rope bindings were, according to Black Herman, passed down from African tribes who evaded enslaving captors. His communion with the spirit world could only be attempted by those with intensive mystical training by Zulu priests, he warned. And no Klansman could be his match, as he was an immortal Black being, insusceptible to the physical assaults of white men. Black Herman became a legend in the eyes of audiences, newspapers, and even among other magicians who nicknamed him Black Houdini. After 1910, Rucker moved to Harlem, New York. He eventually made a home for himself in the heart of the Harlem Renaissance, where he was steeped in the rising Black cultural class and befriended by the likes of Marcus Garvey and Booker T. Washington. His dedication to the Black cause only grew with his celebrity. Increasingly throughout his career, his shows promoted the message of Black pride. Garvey, Washington, and Black Herman were known to offer charms for sale to ward off racism. He combined magic with a strong separatist and militant political message and became one of the most important Black magicians in history. In 1923, his show having exceeded his wildest dreams and soul capabilities, Black Herman employed as many as 50 Black men and women in his production and transformed his profits into loans for Black business owners. He was exposed to and greatly influenced by the radical racial philosophies of Marcus Garvey and others who were fighting to improve the lives of African Americans. He began to incorporate a political message into his shows, playing to all Black audiences in the South, but to mixed crowds in the North, a very unusual and great achievement for his time. Black Herman capitalized on his audience's superstitions. At times, he would use his brother and his assistant as Confederates in the audience. Either man would suddenly jump up and create a great commotion in the crowd. Herman would then give the man some special tonic to cure him, which of course was for sale after the show. For a time, Black Herman employed a mind reader, Madame Deborah Sapphira, as part of the act. Using the usual spirit medium tricks, Herman was able to obtain information secretly about audience members, then reveal that information during his show as proof of his powers. Though he was arrested several times for fortune-telling, Black Herman turned that to his advantage, proclaiming that the arrests were simply proof of the oppression of the African American in society, and that his power was so strong that no jail could hold him. Black Herman's most famous act was called Buried Alive. He would be buried alive a few days before a major performance. Rucker, before being interred, would sell tickets to the public and invite them to come and watch his lifeless body being placed in a coffin and buried near the venue of his upcoming show. He would be buried in an outdoor area called Black Herman's private graveyard, in full view of his audience. He would slow his pulse by applying pressure under his arm and would be proclaimed dead by a local doctor, someone in on the secret. As the coffin was lowered into the ground, Herman would slip out unnoticed. For days, sometimes a week, people would pay to look at the grave, building suspense over the fate of Black Herman. On the day of the show, tickets were sold so the audience would witness the coffin being dug up and watch the magician emerge from the coffin alive and well. The coffin was exhumed with great drama and fanfare, and out walked Herman to lead his audience into the nearest theater where he performed the rest of his show. Of course, during the time of his staged interment, Black Herman was free to travel to another town to set up the same trick, returning in time to slip back into the coffin for his amazing revival. He also used these times to cheat on his wife Eva, who sued him for divorce after he fathered 3 children outside of their marriage. Having made a comfortable life for himself, Black Herman reincorporated his early experiences into a whole new series of ventures. To protect from the threat of outside forces, he purchased his own printing company for the production of his widely circulated 1925 book, Secrets of Magic, Mystery, and Legerdemain, which he sold at his shows and even by mail. Other spiritual items were included in Black Herman's inventory of self-produced goods, which were available to the public. Herman set up shop as an authorized seller of mail-order courses, lucky numbers, and health tonics until he was arrested in 1925 and sent to Sing Sing prison on the charge of fraud. Prison did not dissuade him from his true calling, though, however, and by the end of the decade he had returned to the stage in his extraordinarily lucrative career. Benjamin Rucker died on April 15, 1934, at the age of 44 in Louisville, Kentucky, collapsing on stage, presumably the result of a heart attack. The buried alive trick was so effective and Black Herman's mystical message was so strong that many people in the audience refused to believe that he was really dead. So many people wanted to view the body that the city insisted that his remains be moved to the railway station. His assistant took full advantage of this and charged a dime admission to view Black Herman's corpse. Several thousand people took advantage of the chance to see Black Herman for the last time, and even to poke him with a pen to see if he was really dead. He is buried in the Woodlawn Cemetery in Bronx, New York City. Thus ended the life of one of the most successful African American entertainers and stage magicians of the 20th century. Black Herman had tapped into a wellspring of indigenous spiritual traditions that held broad appeal among Black Americans. He utilized these alternative expressions to connect with diverse audience members. Until next time, if you like little-known history facts as I do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Press the bell to be notified of future uploads. Thank you for watching.